Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Happy Monday, people. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. And welcome to the P-Dog Knight channel, where it's week 3 of the Hush Money's trial. And someone put a Till Tuesday reference in the chat. I saw that earlier. Oh, hush, keep it down now. Voices carry. And I was thinking, man, I was trying to think of all the songs that I wanted to think of all the songs that we could think of that have something to do with being quiet or whatever. Like, for example, don't speak, I know what you're thinking, or something like that, or well, I can't think of any others. So if you can think of songs about being quiet or not talking or not saying something, or even shut the fuck up, I put them in the chat. I want to hear what you can come up with. So anyway, happy Monday, the 5th of May, 2024. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel. And we've already got some donations in the pot. That's good, because the Sounds of Silence, that's a good one. I already got some donations, so let's just do those real quick, and then we'll say hi to everybody and just get started, because I got a lot here today. I'm pretty much going to stick to the Trump trial, because I have several articles about that, and then the links today have all kinds of stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff about what's going on with Israel, Hamas, Gaza, all that shit, because and Rafah, that's trending too. And then just various articles you can check out today. Mostly I pulled from the aggregator, my favorite ones. But anyway, first though, let's say thank you to the people who've already donated. Thank you, Avocados Diabli, who dropped a small bill in the tip jar. And I'm going to just make do this again. And you were the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. But then on his Avocados Diabli says, so I've started jotting down random questions that come to me during the week, but I ran out of paper. Hang on. But I ran out of paper, so I've been using the pages of my copy of the Book of Mormon. Do you think the angel Moroni is going to be upset that I am desecrating his LOL work? LOL. Now, first of all, this begs the question. How is it that you happen to have a copy of the Book of Mormon? That's what I'm wondering. The whole ran out of paper, I'm sure there's a Home Depot, or what, do they still even have, not Home Depot, Office Depot. Why would you go to Home Depot for paper unless you're buying wallpaper? But anyway, don't you have an Office Max, or wait, which one of them went out of business? Office Max or Office Depot? Didn't you have a Sam's Club? Don't you have an Amazon account? Can't you order some more paper and just, because like even if you ordered it from Amazon, I bet you could get some delivered tomorrow. Well, if you're on Amazon Prime. But anyway, okay, so thank you, Avocados Diabli. I appreciate that. And I'm sure that the angel Moroni probably doesn't give a crap, because I don't know. So anyway, all right, and then thank you, Gunfox61, who's dropped 3 Hamilton in the tip jar. Now that makes you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping links like Peggy Lipton and who? Okay, now this is I got to ask you a question. Anyone, if you even know what that meant, if any of you know what I was talking about there, you're old. But so Peggy Lipton, Clarence Williams III, and who is the third in that list? because I can't remember the actor's name. Peggy Lipton, Clarence Williams III, and there's one more. So if you know what I'm talking, okay, Somnambule Nation got it. Mod Squad. Who's the third guy? Who's the guy? Who's the white guy? I don't even remember his name. This is like the actor's name. Okay, if anyone knows, just bring that on. So anyway, Gunfox dropping 3 Hamiltons, saying it's Mental Monday, so that's one of them. And then he did this other one that says 1960s all over again, which we've been talking about that. Like I said, I think we're looking at another 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago, protests all over the country. It's insane out there. And then also we got the left eating their own is the third one. So we'll do all 3 of those. I'll put them ahead of everything else. Not everything. I got to do trending stuff, but I'm going to go through trending stuff fast because I got so much to go through. And then thank you again, Avocados Diablo, dropping another small bullet in the tip jar. Thank you, sir. Who said, if you saw 2 women, sisters, who come around every once in a while, you would understand why I have several copies of it. Oh, of the Book of Mormon. Wait, are the 2 women sister wives or just sisters? I'm not sure. That's, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. So anyway, all right, let's say hi to everybody and get it going. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show. The donation goal is $60. If you can help get us to that today, that'd be fantastic. Today, first in the chat on Rumble, speaking of Avocados Dabbly, guess who gets the bell? That'd be Avocados Dabbly. Gets the bell on Rumble. For some reason, it looks like you're only one of 4 people on Rumble besides me. But that's okay. If you're on Rumble, just say hi over there too. All right, now let's go to YouTube. First in the chat is also Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Well done, sir. Also, good morning, JD. Who literally, I mean, it was boom, 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 boom. Avocados Diablo, boom. JB, boom, 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 just like that. It was crazy. It was so fast. It was so close, but. So close and yet so far. Okay. Also, good morning to my favorite Canadian Jaeger ponies in the house. Trippy Liberty, what's up, my brother? Good morning. Tyre. Alexander. The skirts. I don't know why I like doing that, but I do. Good morning, Kara Soldier. Also, good morning, Rick Ashbringer. What's up? TC's in the house. Lord Stanhope. T-Ball. What's up, T-Ball? Nice to have you back. Good morning also to Tyler F. Unacceptable Views. Let's see. Don Julio, Gulf City Biker and Trash Man. Rod Line is in the house. Good morning, sir. Oh, Rod, what was it? You said something that I had to add. Oh, Rod says, my wife got her 2nd-degree black belt in Tang So Do, 2 golds and a bronze, and 2 golds and a bronze competing, and my son got 2 silvers. I'm scared of my family. Well, I would think I would be happy that my family could protect me and I wouldn't have to do all the heavy lifting, but good. That's really awesome. Congratulations to your wife and son. Also, good morning, Somnambule Nation. Oh, you know what? When I said I was going to do a makeup show on Saturday and you said, no, you're not, because you always say shit and don't do it. I did it. I know you saw it, and I apologize again for Q&A day last week. I will never, ever intend to make that mistake again. See what I did there? Oh, I do have my cup of reparations in the my Key West cup here today. Also, good morning, Attack Alpaca. Anna Lynn's in the house. Gunfox61, the awesome administrator of our Discord server for the P-Dog Night channel. Also, Green Badger Outdoors. Did I say Unacceptable Views? Did I say that yet? Were you up here, or is this you just stopping in right here? Unacceptable Views is in the house. Also, this is Kyle. What up, Kyle? Nice to have you back a couple times in a row. This is awesome. Nice to have you back, brother. Also, is anybody else? Did I miss anybody? That looks like everybody so far. So, do the thing, the like thing, the share the thing. There are 34 people here already. Gosh, darn it. Well, say hi if you haven't yet. Oh, I see. I didn't scroll down far enough. There we go. I knew I saw some other names earlier. Here we go. Also, I'm sorry. Good morning to Special Can Acid, Lord Stanhope, Amazing Disgrace, Patio Furniture. This is like romper room. I see Betty. I see Donald. I see. You know what? Remember I was telling you the other day. Oh, it wasn't the other day. I don't remember what I was telling you. So like when you go to, like you're at a truck stop, or you're in what Lady Boomer and I call an HOC whenever you're in a tourist area. Now, when I say HOC, that means House O' Crap, aka a tourist gift shop type thing. And they'll have like the little spinning thing, what do you call it? Carousel of like license plates, and they always have names on them, and they have all these different names, and you can spin it around trying to find your name and shit. And it always disappoints me because you can never, ever, 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 forever, ever find the name Marty. I don't know why. Is Marty that uncommon a name? And not just Marty, but you usually can't even find Martin. And I would always try to find Marty because my name wasn't, when I was a kid, my name, even though it derives from my original name, John Martin O'Connor, I was never Martin. I was always Marty. But they never have Marty. And it was very disappointing. I think one time out of thousands of times of looking at those things and seeing, okay, and I check now all the time. Whenever I see something, it could be keychains, it could be, I don't know, whatever. They never have Marty, and it really annoys the hell out of me. Yeah, because they have common names, but isn't Marty a fairly common name? I mean, like, you'd think it was. I don't know. It's very annoying. But anyway, what was my point there? I don't even remember what I was talking about. It was something about those. Okay, I don't know. The chat keeps moving, so I can't figure it out. Anyway, yeah, that's annoying. Marty is not a common name. It's not. It's common enough. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, that's the whole thing there. Not as popular since Sid and Marty Krofft. I mean, think about it. Marty in Back to the Future. Some people call him Martin Scorsese, like his friends. Martin Scorsese, his friends call him Marty. I didn't think it was such an unusual name, but apparently, I guess there's not a lot of Martys. There's lots of Johns and Davids and Bills and Billies and all that crap. But come on, you'd think Martin, because Martin would be a common name. It's one of the big Catholic names, isn't it? I mean, that's why my name was John Martin O'Connor, because my mother's Irish Catholic. But anyway, did the kids call you Farty Marty when you were in school? Yeah, and it's always, what the funny thing about that is, or Marty Farty or Farty Marty. Yeah, they would do that. And every single kid that ever did it acted like they were the first one who came up with that. Like, oh my gosh, gee, you thought of something original this time. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So, no, but it's not, Rick, it's not just no nicknames. You can't find Martin either. That's the thing. Martin and Marty usually do not exist. And you would see Billy, or you would see Katie, or you would see all these other nicknames that are derived from something else, but you would not see Martin or Marty on those things. It's just annoying. Anyway, all right, enough about that. I don't even remember what made me think of that. Good morning, Jimmy Das Hotep over on Rumble. Thank you for joining us, sir. Good to see you. All right, let's get into the news, because there's a whole lot going on. Because it's the weekend. We got the weekend breakdown. But let's talk about the special days. Now, there's a whole bunch of commemorative style days this weekend. One of them, yesterday, and it was Holocaust Remembrance Day. And so, wait, why isn't this not working? No, hold on. What the hell? Let me fix this real quick. Good God. Okay, come on. Here we go. There we go. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Holocaust Remembrance Day was yesterday, and so that's trending on Twitter today. And it's funny because some of the things that that have been discussed. Where's my cursor? Okay, my computer's fucking up again. It has to be to do with Streamlabs. Anyway, one of the ironic things was that the anti-Israel protesters were having a day of rage on Holocaust Remembrance Day. How about that? Well, actually, technically it was yesterday, but still, here it is. Citywide Day of Rage, Monday, May 6, 2024, all out for Gaza. At Columbia University, and a citywide rally starts at Hunter College, 68th and Lexington, Columbia University, apartheid divest. So yeah, that's great, huh? How appropriate. And I guess yesterday, Benjamin Netanyahu, on Holocaust Remembrance Day, said, "In the Holocaust, no nation came to our aid." Well, actually, we kind of did. Today, again, we face enemies bent on our destruction. If Israel is forced to stand alone, Israel will stand alone. We will defeat our enemies. Never again as now. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know what that means. No nation came to our aid. The war was fought, probably because maybe some nations didn't even realize it, especially the European nations. Like, it was happening, and it was like, wait a minute, where are they taking all these people? You know, but certainly many nations aided in ending that terrible thing, and so I can understand maybe why the Jewish people might be a little concerned when things like October 7th happens, and since the ever since the the Intifada has been going on, which is basically to wipe out Jews. So anyway, so that's happening. It also Never Again is trending related to that, and Holocaust was trending related to that. And there's images from the shit on October 7th that are on these trending topics. Now someone here says, "Oh wow, well hang on. Okay, that's different." So anyway, those things are trending. Also, it is also this week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Yeah. Now, my challenge here on a Teacher Appreciation Week is I can remember some teachers who had a great influence on me. Mr. McMean, my music teacher. Hello, Maddie. Mr. McMean, my vocal music teacher. Mr. Farrell, our instrumental music teacher. Mrs. Bernstein, my AP English teacher. She was awesome. There were a lot of teachers who had a great impact on me. In fact, one teacher was a teacher that I didn't even have as a student, but who was always just real friendly and nice and for whatever reason always asking me how I'm doing. And maybe he did that to every kid, but that was Mr. David, or what was it? He was another English teacher that I didn't have. What was his name? I'm blanking out now. But anyway, I had some great teachers when I was growing up, especially in high school. Oh, and also Mrs. Kalina, my 8th grade vocal music teacher, was especially memorable. And my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Potter, she was awesome. So, or Mrs. Potash, Mrs. Potter. I was thinking Harry Potter because I was reading something on J.K. Rowling. Mrs. Potash, which she was a great teacher too. And I just now there are interesting things regarding Teacher Appreciation Week. I don't know. I think teachers, especially in tough situations where kids are not learning, in some way get the blame for a lot of the lack of achievement in schools. But here's what I would suggest. The profession of teaching only works when parents and teachers get on the same page and do their best to make sure that a kid wants to learn. And I think a lot of the situations, for whatever reason, there are places where just it's the norm to not want to learn. And so I still say we need to try to support teachers. If you're parents, make sure you're talking to teachers and talking to your kids and trying to get them to be understand the importance of learning, and hopefully you can make your own kids be successful. Unsuccessful says teachers in Canada are 95% female. This is a problem. Well, it doesn't have to be a problem. But yeah, it's hard to get those male role models, right? When all the teachers, for the most part, are female. So I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Avocados Day. I'll be dropping another small bullet in the tip jar. Thank you, sir. Who says, Avocados Day says, listen, the teachers, mostly the female, can either bang their kids or be appreciated. I ain't doing both, so they're going to have to choose one in the future, and we will abide by their decision. Yes, thank you. Avocados Diabli. Yes, we do. We're not going to appreciate the teachers that are banging the kids, okay? Not those teachers. And man, boy, it's funny how there's a story out every week. Like, there was a woman just recently, a teacher who, she was about to get married and she was caught making out with a fifth grader. It's like, what? This is not what I want you to teach my kids, lady. They'll figure that shit out on their own. You don't have to teach them that. That's a whole different thing. Also, thank you, Gunfox 61, dropping another Hamilton in the tip jar. What the hell was that? No, I was thinking about that teacher. We are at, oh man, we're already at 45. Very good. Teacher appreciation week. Yeah, it is. Okay. That's the one. That's the story. How appropriate is the timing on this, Gunfox? Look at this. For Teacher Appreciation Week. Here it is. U.S. teacher arrested for making out with fifth grader months before wedding. This is it. And this is in India today. This made news in freaking India. Now, I'm sure the fifth grader probably appreciates the teacher, but I'm sure the fifth grader's parents and the school board probably said, hey, this is not what we meant by appreciating a teacher. A 24-year-old teacher in the U.S. has been charged with sexual assault for allegedly making out and having an inappropriate relationship with one of her fifth grade students, Abe Madison. What? Why is it? That's bad punctuation. Madison Bergman alleged abuse of the 11-year-old boy came to light less than 3 months before her wedding, CBS News Minnesota reported. Did this happen in Minnesota? Oh, Lord. What is going on? This is the third one in Minnesota in a very short period of time. The incident came out in the open when the boy's mother overheard him talking to Bergman on the phone and took the device away from him. The boy's parents have allegedly found texts between him and the teacher, following which they went to the school with printouts of the conversations. According to the charging documents presented to the police, the text included messages from Bergman allegedly is discussing several encounters with the 11-year-old inside the classroom during lunch and after school. She is accused. She did it in the classroom and in the school? What are you talking about? Oh my God. Yeah, this is okay. This is in Minnesota. This happened here. According to the charging documents presented to the police, the text included messages from Bergman allegedly discussing several encounters with 11-year-old boy inside the classroom during lunch and after school. She is also accused of telling the boy how much... Also, she is accused of telling the boy how much she enjoyed him touching her. Oh, yeah. Stop it! This just not sexy at all. Holy shit. What is going on with these teachers? I don't get it. Are they that lonely? I mean, she's about to be getting married. The boy told investigators that he talked to Madison Bergman almost daily and got her number when he went skiing with her and his mother in the Afton Alps over the winter break. The teacher agreed to get his number during the trip, saying it was shared with her if they were separated at the park. Oh, so in case they got separated at the park, okay. The month Bergman went on the skiing trip was the same when he got it when she got engaged to her boyfriend. Inside Bergman's backpack, a folder with the boy's name on it was found that contained many handwritten notes. The 11-year-old boy told the police that he and Bergman would write each other notes throughout the day, and most of these mentioned the two kissing each other, according to the court documents. I mean, how do you get caught doing this? First of all, you're just dumb. You're dumb doing this at the school. And well, you shouldn't be doing it at all, but this is dumb. Unbelievable. In one of the letters, Madison Bergman allegedly questioned her relationship with the fifth grader. Quote, "One of my cousins is in fifth grade, and I can't imagine a man talking to her how we talk." Yeah, you'd be in jail. You would have been under the jail. Okay, you're lucky you're a female, because you can get away with a slap in the. You might get 2 years. You might, maybe a year. I'm betting. She says, "I know we have a special relationship, and I do love you more than anyone in the world, including her fiance." What? But I have to be the adult here and stop. Oh, revelations.
Your life makes me sad.
Bergman was set to be married in July, less than 3 months before her arrest. She was let out on a $25,000 signature bond and has been placed on administrative leave. Oh, you think? On administrative leave. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
She has also been barred from school property or at school events and from contacting any district students, parents, or staff, the New York Post reported. The principal expressed shock over the incident. Shock, I tell you. Shock. Saying that they are all disturbed by this news. Our greatest concern for the Rivercrest community and children impacted, or is, yeah, whatever is for them. So, holy shit, where in the hell is Rivercrest? Hang on a second. Let's leave. Let me look this up. It's got to be in Minnesota or in Wisconsin. I'm guessing it's in Minnesota, Wisconsin, because Afton Alps is kind of on the edge of both. Rivercrest community. Rivercrest community is how about Rivercrest School District? SCHOL. School District. Here we go. Rivercrest School District. Where's Rivercrest? Arkansas. No, that can't be. That can't be. Well, it could be, because that would make more sense if it was in Arkansas. And it might have been her cousin. Who knows? The only one I can find is in Arkansas. Maybe it's 2 words. Rivercrest. Let's try that. Rivercrest. Nope. Well, why would they be in Afton Alps, though? Afton Alps is in Minnesota. Anyway, yes, Gunfox, throw her ass in the wood chipper. All right. Thank you for that, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, so basically, Miss Teacher Woman.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
All right. Moving on. Where was I? I was on, so anyway, Teacher Appreciation Week. Also, it's also Nurses Week. Now, it's kind of weird because, when I saw that Teacher Appreciation Week, the first thing that popped in my head was a Van Halen song. And then I saw the teacher that was in this story, and I was like, oh shit. We used to kind of glorify that in sort of some way when that song Hot for Teacher came out, and they had the young boys been looking at the dancing girl teacher, whatever. And now it's also Happy Nurses Week, which and I'm afraid to scroll too fast in this because you never know if we got a nurse showing naughty bits or anything. Nursing graduation tonight will relish the moment for their accomplishments. The role of the nurse educators molding nurses to have integrity. I pray I have done that. Happy Nurses Week to all. I'm proud to be a nurse educator. Okay. Oh my God. Almost. Almost. I told you. I hope that didn't show up on the screen. Did that show up on the screen? Oh no, because that would be the only time that she got her danglies hanging out. I don't need to see your danglies there, lady. But anyway, Happy Nurses Week to the nurses at Union Hospital. Okay, so people are saying Happy Nurses Week. All right, it's that too. Also, let's do some celebrity birthdays like we usually do. We try to get a few of them. For whatever reason, now this is really weird because I keep seeing these pop up. And today, I guess it's Princess Archie's birthday. Like all the royals, like are born. They're at least the little youngest ones right now. All seem to be. They all seem to have birthdays around the same time. Were these guys like on a schedule when they were supposed to have their kids? Because like they're all over. It's like Princess Archie, who is that's Harry and Meghan's daughter, I guess, is 5 years. Or how old is she today? I didn't even know. Yeah, she's 5 years old today. So this is little Prince Archie's turning 5 today, and it feels like just yesterday Prince Harry was so excited while announcing the news that he ended up thanking the horses behind him in Windsor. Okay, I don't know what that means. Anyway, because they all have horsey faces or some shit. Anyway, happy birthday, Princess, whatever your name is. Wait, Princess Archie? Is that a boy? Oh, no, that's a boy. Did I say little girl? Anyway, happy birthday, Prince Archie. No, Prince Archie. Did I say princess? Holy shit. What? Okay, I meant Prince Archie. Anyway, and then also it's Bob Seger's birthday. Now, you know Bob Seger, the 70s and 80s rocker. 80s more, I guess. Against the Wind, old time rock and roll, Shakedown. He had a lot of hits in the 80s. Happy birthday! He's 79 years old today. We got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? Let's make it last. Let's find a way. You know that guy. Or old time. Everyone knows old time rock and roll, right? Risky Business. Come on, man. Everyone knows that. He had a lot of great songs, and Night Moves, Stranger in Town, Against the Wind, The Distance, lots of great songs. So anyway, happy birthday, Bob Seger. Also, it's one of the great baseball players of all time's birthday, Willie Mays, 93 years old today. Say hey, Willie, won't you hit one for me? It's funny because this is Willie Mays. At 50 years old in an old timers game, made one of his famous basket catches from behind the back. And happy birthday, Willie Mays. One of the absolute greats. All right. Also, let's see. Now, let's get into some news trending too. Oklahoma and Kansas, if you live anywhere near that part of the country, you find the storm cellar. Apparently, it's never a good sign when you have to drag this meme back out. Are you going to sleep? Yes, I am. Now, shut up. The SPC just upgraded to high risk. Uh-oh. So anyway, the Storm Prediction Center, let's just say it's tornado season in Tornado Alley, which is basically Oklahoma and Kansas. Not much of a change since yesterday. It's going to be a very long day for Oklahoma and Kansas today. Then our threat moves to an area not so used to this type of stuff. Stay tuned. A level 5 out of, and here it is. A level 5 out of 5 high risk of tornadoes has been drawn across Oklahoma and Kansas. This is the most severe risk category. Strong to violent long track tornadoes are expected. Giant hail to grapefruit size hail. Holy shit. I don't think there's a good way to stop grapefruit size hail, but here's the high risk safety card it's the National Storm Prediction Center, I guess. What to do during a storm prediction center that says high risk. What is high risk? High risk is the greatest risk tier the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center can issue. It corresponds to a level 5 out of 5 on their scale. High risk are issued on average once per year. High risk represent high confidence in strong, violent, long-track tornadoes or widespread hurricane-force winds. When is the last time a high risk was issued? March 31st, 2023, 146 tornadoes occurred from the Mid-South and the Ozarks through the Corn Belt, the third most prolific outbreak on record. Now, here's what you should do if you live in one of these areas. Schedule your day around being close to a shelter, especially from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. So that's specific. I guess tornadoes don't really happen in the morning. Good morning, Jason Who, by the way. Also, contact relative. Oh, wait a minute. This means you should never be more than 5 minutes from a below-ground shelter. Mobile homes will not suffice. Okay, we got that one. Number 2, contact relatives, neighbors who may not have access to a shelter. Invite them over and ensure they have arrived by 3 p.m. And I would also add, have them bring snacks. Number 3, stock the shelter with water and board games. Make it a fun place that the kids won't be afraid to go. Well, wouldn't board games make them bored? I don't even know what that means. Anyway, that's 3. Number 4, charge devices and have multiple ways of being notified of warnings. Do not rely on sirens. And finally, wear closed-toe shoes today. In the unlikely event of a tornado strike, climbing through debris will be easier. Okay, so there's the advice. And then it says, what should I do later? At all points today, tonight, be on standby mode and be ready to shelter. The onus is on you to stay tuned to forecast. I didn't know there was a warning isn't an excuse and won't protect you from the elements. Well, if you use that as an excuse, you're probably dead and nobody's going to know if you use that as an excuse or not. Anyway, there you go. All right, there's your high risk warning advice from the National Weather Service. Thank you, Cryptic, for putting $5 in the tip jar via YouTube Super Chats. Who says, Princess, what's the fucking difference in 2024? Yes, exactly. That's exactly true. Thank you, Cryptic, for sponsoring the show. All right, moving on. By the way, high risk is also trending because, it's high risk. Let's move on. Also, how far am I at? I'm doing good. I'm a little behind. Tokyo. The Tokyo Dome is trending. Now, I don't normally spend a lot of time on sports and things like that, but in the Tokyo Dome, there were a couple of huge boxing matches. Now, I know probably not a lot of boxing fans here. Maybe not. But, so when I was doing this morning, these matches were going on as we speak. So the Tokyo Dome had a couple championship bouts, and one was this guy named, what is his name? It's his name is, Inoue. I can't think of his first name here, but this is I think he's the super flyweight unified champion. He has all the belts. Like every organization recognizes him as the champion, right? And when he was trending when I got home this morning, because in the first round he was knocked down in this fight against this guy named Neri. For the first time in his career, he had been knocked down, but he rallied, knocked the other guy down in the second round, and he is still the unified champion in that weight class. There's also another fighter named, his nickname's the Monster. Anyway, he won the fight. And then there's also some guy named Yoshiki Takei, who was a challenger in the WBO bantamweight division. And he defeated Jason Maloney by unanimous decision in that. So big fights going on in Tokyo. If you're a boxing fan, you can look that up. Also in sports, Tom Brady's trending. Apparently Tom Brady, the quarterback for the New England Patriots and more recently the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Apparently there is a roast of Tom Brady playing on Netflix right now. And I've watched some of these clips from it. They brought Ron Burgundy was one of the speakers. Anyway, it's pretty funny. I saw some of the clips. If you're interested in watching celebrity roast, it is pretty funny, and they have some of the better roast type people on there. But I'm not going to show any on this. But there were some good jokes in there. So if you want to watch that, check it out on Netflix. Bobby Kennedy's trending. Apparently, he put out a video narrated by Woody Harrelson called "Who is Bobby Kennedy?" I have not watched the whole thing. I watched parts of it, and he's an interesting guy. I wouldn't vote for him, but look. If the choice was between Bobby Kennedy and Joe Biden, yeah, I'd vote for him. But that's not what the choice is, and who knows who this Bobby Kennedy is going to be a spoiler for. It's who's he going to take more votes from, Joe Biden or Donald Trump? I'm just curious. In fact, let's see. We'll do a poll. Let's do the poll. Now, who will Robert Kennedy Jr. take more votes from? Here, let's. Joe Biden, Donald, because I think it's a kind of a toss-up. I'm not really sure. Anyway, if you want to check that out, there's 30 minutes of this on also in the links today. I'm not going to go through it. Also trending, Rafah is trending. Israel, apparently, there's big controversy on whether or not Israel should go into Rafah. They've been all over Gaza, and they've pushed most of the, I guess you'd call them refugees, south, and Rafah is the last city that they have not gone through to take out these Hamas people, right? And obviously it's very controversial because they've forced people to flee farther south, and now they're dropping leaflets in Rafah saying that they're coming in because they want to find their hostages. The Hamas still has the hostages, and it's a very controversial thing. Here it is, the IDF just dropped leaflets over Rafah, which holds nearly 1 million displaced children. Now, it's interesting they only mention the children. We all know this will be an absolute massacre. Look at all the innocent children. This is absolutely sick. And yes, it's awful. It's awful when these civilians and children, whatever, die in war. But there's the war was started by an act of war, and I don't remember. I don't know if maybe there was this same kind of sentiment of all the people, all the children of Dresden that died during that campaign, or all the children of London who may have, well, I guess they didn't when they bombed London. I don't know. It's a war, and it's awful, and we don't want war. And the Israelis have a specific reason why they want, a way to stop the war is to give up the hostages, or at least cease fire. There's nothing good about it, and so I don't know what to say, but that's very controversial, obviously. All right, and then finally on my list of the trending topics, wages is trending, and the one this is interesting because Joe Biden's has these interns or whatever they are that run his Twitter account, and apparently Joe Biden says wages are rising faster than prices, incomes are higher than before the pandemic, and unemployment has remained below 4% for the longest stretch in 50 years. We have more to do to lower costs for hardworking families, but we're really making real progress. Now, when I saw that, and this is why wages is trending. when I saw that, then I had to scroll down because there's usually a couple of people who fact check him right off the bat. Fiction or facts? Right now, there's a 16.6% increase in everyday cost for all of Americans since Joe Biden came to office. So a 3% decrease in real wages. Families paying $10,000 or more for the same goods with a higher cost of living. Year-over-year inflation is still higher than at any point since December 2011. 25 million Americans behind on their credit cards, auto loans, and personal loans, a number not seen since 2009. Credit card balances at an all-time high. Middle-class households down $33,000 in real wealth on average over the last year. So that's the real numbers. And then CBS News put this out here a while ago. Americans need an extra $11,400 today just to afford the basics. It's funny. And then someone points out, hey, your economic plan is working out so well that you actually stopped calling it Bidenomics because you don't want your name associated with the current economy. So, yeah, this is just a flat out lie. That wages are rising faster than prices? No, they're not. And sure, incomes are higher than before the pandemic because, yeah, wages, of course they are. They've trended up. But real wages haven't. They've gone down. So this is just a flat out lie by Joe Biden. Lots of people talking about wages, though. Someone here says inflation has averaged over 5% under Joe Biden. Gas, home, and mortgages that cost double. Prices are up an average of 19%. Weekly wages down 5%. That's real wages. National debt is up. And then he has a whole list of these things. But so anyway, lots of people fact checking Joe Biden on that. So there we go. That's the trending topics for the day. Let's get into the news right after I do two more of these super chats. Thank you. Jimmy Das Hotep. For sponsoring the show, splitting a small bowl of the tip jar, says Joe Biden. The question of who's going to take more votes from. Jimmy says Joe Biden, because people can't afford to live worse now. It's worse now than ever in my lifetime. People won't want to, even people who Trump know. Oh, okay, I get it. People who don't want Trump know Biden is pathetic. Yeah, maybe, but let's put it this way, though. So Biden's going to lose votes just because he's Biden, because he's a shit president, right? But the question is, who is Robert Kennedy going to take more votes from? So that begs I thank you, by the way, again. Appreciate it. That begs the question, though. People who would switch their vote from Biden to somebody else, would those people vote for Robert Kennedy instead of Trump? That's why. So that'd be taking, if that's those people, you're taking the vote away from Trump, not from Biden. Now, some like, for example, the protesting crowds right now, they don't want to vote for Biden because they call him Genocide Joe now. So would they vote for Kennedy just because he's not Biden? So which one takes more votes away? So but I get your point there, and that's a good point. Thank you. Avocados Diablo also dropping another another small bowl of the tip jar, saying what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. needs to do is get Sirhan to do an ad for him. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Even I would vote for Bobby, and I killed his dad. Would be a great campaign slogan. Plus, he is Palestinian, so Bobby could nail that demo too. Oh my God. Oh my God, AD. Holy shit. We're less than $9 away from for hitting the goal today. That's awesome. All right, here we go. All right, let's do some news because let's do Gun Fox's articles real quick. First in what is this fresh hell? Oh, okay, Utah. This is something in Utah. This is Gun Fox hijacking the show. If you want to hijack the show, $10 in the Streamlabs and put a link to the article you want me to go through. Here we go. This is some brain food for P-Dog. Are we ever gonna get to this Trump stuff? Okay, here we go. Apparently, Utah, the state of Utah, has a snitch line. I did not hear about this. A snitch line to report trans people in bathrooms and apparently it is backfiring in spectacular fashion. Now, granted, this is an article from MSNBC. Hello, Big Chris. What's up? You see Biden blast his pants on national TV? Crazy. No! Did he? Like, did he fart really loud? I don't know. Welcome, Big Chris. That's a new name. Or no, you've been here before, but this is a... you're not here often. Okay. Gunfox, what are you sending me here? So now remember, this is an MSNBC article. Opinion piece, I guess. Or no, it's not even an opinion piece. This is a news story. Huh. And so think of it appropriately. This is by someone named Clarissa John Neem, something like that. What the fresh hell is that? Oh, by the way, so in Ohio, wait, which Gunfox did you want for the article or for the candidate that's banned from running in Ohio? We might have to do both of these. Anyway, okay, here we go. In an attempt to crowdsource enforcement of an anti-trans bathroom law. Well, is it anti-trans or is it pro-women? But this is MSNBC, so it's going to be anti-trans because, anything that they don't like is transphobic. That went into effect this week. Utah State Auditor has rolled out an online complaint form to report trans people in bathrooms. Released on Wednesday, the so-called hotline complaint form allows people to report alleged violations of House Bill 257, which requires individuals to use restrooms and changing rooms in government buildings that correspond with their sex. Assigned at birth, they had to add, because you know what, your sex is not assigned at birth, it's observed. But anyway, the legislation has caused fear and confusion among teachers, parents, and students in public schools. Under HB 257, a person found to have violated the law can be charged with a criminal trespassing and could serve jail time, and a government entity can be fined up to $10,000 per day for a violation. Now, I agree you should not have. I think trans people should be in the bathroom where they fit in or whatever, I guess. I don't know. Have separate bathrooms. Have just individual bathrooms. Then you have to fucking worry about it. But anyway. But that seems pretty heavy-handed, don't you think? I don't know. So, the complaint form has so far proven to be a bust. Unlike, never mind, the synthetic thing on a trans person I was thinking. Anyway, several people posted screenshots to the social media platform X showing them trolling the form with memes and other nonsensical submissions. By Friday, the state auditor's office has received nearly 4,000 complaints. Utah Auditor John Dougal told the Salt Lake Tribune, all of which appear to be fake. They got fake forms. I can't imagine an online forum where there's activists. I can't believe that there would be some fake forms. Unbelievable. We didn't see anything that looks credible, Dougal said. For example, if they have my name as complainant, I'm not complaining. The form initially had a section where respondents could upload documents to support their complaint, which, given the location to which the law applied, suggests that people would be photographed in bathrooms and changing rooms, which is illegal. Apparently, Utah's solution to people feeling unsafe in restrooms is to encourage folks to take photos of and focus extreme attention on the private parts of others who are taking care of a biological need to eliminate waste. Utah State Senator Jennifer Plum, a Democrat, posted on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Dougal responded to Plum, writing that his office has no interest in those type of photos and that he was disgusted by Plum's suggestion of such revolting and criminal behavior, which is an appropriate response. By Saturday, that section of the complaint form has been removed. Here's Don Frugal Dougal's, isn't that cute? Don Frugal Dougal. Our hotline has historically allowed complainant to upload additional supporting information. My office has no interest in those type of photos, which of course would be illegal. Nor did we request this task. But apparently your solution to people feeling, here's the rest of the tweet. I should read the rest of it here. Why did it go all the way over there? Oh, there it is. Let's see what the rest of this post says. I'm just curious. All right. But apparently your solution to people feeling unsafe in restrooms is to now encourage folks to take photos of them. What could possibly go wrong? I'm disgusted by your suggestion of such a revolting and criminal behavior, but if we get such photos, I'll know why. So anyway, so they had a little argument on X. So the website also had no basic security measures to block people from viewing comments and images that others had submitted. Dougal's office changed the permissions after independent news outlets 404 Media reached out for comment. Utah is not the first state to seek the public's help in enforcing anti-LGBTQ measures, not women's safety measures. As journalist Aaron Reed reported, when Indiana unveiled a similar snitch line in February to report schools that were teaching political ideology, the portal was spammed with jokes and memes. Of course, but look, even though they're bad at it, the left does try to do jokes and memes. So there you go. Last year, Missouri had a similar anti-trans snitch line website crash after it was spammed with users who uploaded the script of the B movie. So there you go. They were creative in fucking up some websites. Good for them. Congratulations. Real quick, thank you, JB, dropping a $5 Canadian in the tip jar. Who says, yes, hotline. The one toilet identifies as an upper decker. Thank you, JB. Appreciate it. Thank you for sponsoring this show. All right, let's see here. Let's move on to the second article Gunfox sent me. That one was not so brain exploding, expiring. Let's try this one. Oh, this is actually a good one. The comparison I keep making anyway. Comparisons between 1968 and 2024 are all the rage. They're also wrong. Oh, this is an opinion piece on MSNBC. So they're saying that the comparisons are wrong. These are wrong. These are bad comparisons. Okay, let's find out why. He says Vietnam was one of the preeminent issues on the minds of American voters. The war in Gaza doesn't even crack the top 10. Okay, listen. That is true. And I'm going to just preempt this by saying it's not that they have the same level of interest on the minds of American voters. However, the images of the protests, which are being blasted all over the internet, all over the news, all over everywhere, are reminiscent of the protests that we were seeing in 1968. And they're on college campuses, and they're shooting them with rubber bullets and tear gas and all this other stuff. And it's the same imagery, even though it's not the same level of interest as far as the war itself, because we are not technically not involved in the war in Gaza. Okay. So anyway, let's read this opinion piece from Michael Cohen, probably not the same Michael Cohen that's in New York right now. Perhaps the most challenging thing about having written a book about the 1968 presidential election is that every time there's political violence or student protests in America, people compare those events to that ill-fated year and are pretty much always wrong. Again, election year, protests on college campuses, Democratic National Convention in Chicago, other people protesting because of immigration, protesters because of Palestine. I'm sure that we'll have a police shooting or something where a white guy did something bad to somebody that will cause more protests, and it's all going to hover around the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. That's the comparison we're making. Is it the exact same? Is it the same level of interest in the Vietnam War as Gaza? No. But the imagery and an election year where the Democratic National Convention is in Chicago, that has some comparisons. How about you? Okay, he says, take, for example, the increasingly omnipresent talk about how the pro-Palestinian anti-war protests roiling American college campuses today bear a similarity to those protests 56 years ago opposing the war in Vietnam. Senator Bernie Sanders even suggested that the war in Gaza may be Biden's Vietnam. Well, if we put boots on the ground. By the way, did you hear that France is thinking about putting boots on the ground in Ukraine? Oh, fuck. Come on. I saw that this morning. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see. These comparisons, like all others made over the years, are wildly off base. In 1968, there were 500,000 U.S. troops fighting in Southeast Asia. That year, close to 17,000 Americans and more than 87,000 were wounded or killed. 17,000 were killed and 87,000 wounded. Moreover, there was a national draft scooping up 18-year-olds into the military, and many of those protesting on campus were taking advantage of college deferments that ensured they wouldn't be forced to join the army. Now, I'm going to go with this again. Yeah, that's because the protesters now, a lot of them being paid, maybe just LARPing as anti-war protesters because it's cool to do. And some are really concerned about Gaza, and they've been told by their professors that this is the worst thing on the planet that's ever happened to the Palestinians, because the Palestinians are the oppressed and the Israelis are the oppressors, because that's some Marxist shit that we still deal with, okay? Today, not only does America have an all-volunteer army, but no U.S. troops are fighting in Gaza or are at any serious risk of being deployed there. That doesn't matter. They don't. Stay intact. Stay intact. College students might be enraged about the situation in Gaza, but unlike their generational predecessors who had to worry about being sent into conflict, virtually none of them has that kind of skin in the game. Yes, we're well aware of that. Hello, number one. But the false comparisons to 1968 don't end there. More than half a century ago, Vietnam was one of the preeminent issues on the minds of American voters. Outrage and frustrations over the conduct of the war spurred Senator Eugene McCarthy of Minnesota and Senator Robert F. Kennedy of New York to launch primary challenges against the incumbent President Lyndon B. Johnson. After an underwhelming performance in the New Hampshire primary and Kennedy's entry into the race soon after, Johnson shocked the nation by bowing out and ending his bid for re-election. Yeah, Joe Biden's not going to bow out. Thank goodness. Although, is my prediction still valid that he's not going to be the nominee come November? I still don't think he will be. Throughout the summer and fall of 1968, eventual Democratic nominee Vice President Hubert Humphrey was hounded on the campaign trail by anti-war protesters. Gee, is there a certain candidate that has... Well, of course, here's the difference. See, Joe Biden probably won't be out doing much campaigning because he doesn't campaign. He doesn't, But when he has gone places like the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that was marred by protests, Palestinian protesters. So there's a similarity, even though it's not the same. We know it's not the same. There's similarities. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, for sponsoring the show. Drop another bullet in the tip jar. Are people really comparing 1968 to 2024? Or asking if maybe things may turn out the same way in the end, given the similarities? Those are not the same thing by a long shot. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, similarities doesn't mean the same. And I'm thinking it may be the downfall of Joe Biden. That's all I say when I compare them. Whatever. And I'm just waiting. Look, I'm waiting to see the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. It's going to be lit. So anyway, thank you, AD. Oh my gosh, we're down to $7 left. $7 to get to 60. Okay. Not only is our war in Gaza not the primary issue for conservative voters, it doesn't even crack the top 10. Indeed, according to the recent Harvard poll of voters ages 18 to 29, Israel-Palestine ranked 15th out of 16 on their list of the most important issues facing America. Oddly, the only issue that ranked lower was student debt. Remember, this is the group of Americans that's supposedly most concerned about the situation in the Middle East. However, even among Democratic voters 18 to 29, Gaza ranks 13th, far behind abortion, gun violence, healthcare, and protecting democracy. Which is not really democracy. Good morning, Michael Hatfield, by the way, and GDSOB. What's up? Okay, it is far from clear that young people are disproportionately partial to the Palestinian cause. Nearly an equal percentage of young people sympathize with the Israeli and Palestinian people while holding far more negative views of their leaders. But perhaps the most telling is that close to 45% of those polls say they don't know enough about the situation in Gaza to form an opinion. Yeah, including the protesters. That they have an opinion, but they don't know enough about it. Because half of them don't even know why they're there. All right, so for all of the coverage that campus protests are receiving, that all the coverage they're receiving and distracting us from probably something else, like maybe the French troops going to fight in Ukraine. The reality is we're talking about a tiny number of students on a tiny number of elite university campuses and on an issue that the vast majority of young voters either don't care about or don't understand. And yet, remember a few weeks ago, it was just students at Harvard, right? Remember, it was just some students at Harvard. Yes, they were having their little protest at Harvard, and it was just them, and they took over the yard. And when they took over the yard, the people at Harvard were not happy. But notice how quickly it has spread to other campuses. Now, campuses all over the country, it's spreading. UCLA, USC, Texas, Utah, whatever. All these campuses are having these protests now. So it's growing. You know what? I bet you, you know what? I'll bet you anything that back in 1968 or maybe earlier, the first protest of the Vietnam War, I'll bet you the first protest of the Vietnam War back in those days probably only occurred in one place. And then it spread through the country. So, this is still the early stages of these Gaza protests. I'm sure that you notice there's more of them all of a sudden. It's chowder, not chowder. Oh, okay. I'll get that right. So anyway, indeed, the demographic group most supportive of the war in Vietnam were those aged 18 to 29. The group most opposed were those who came of age during World War I and World War II. In addition, the anti-war protesters were among the most unpopular group of Americans in the country, even among those opposed to the war in Vietnam. Guess what? I bet these protesters, these Palestine protesters who block like interstates and shit like that, I bet they're pretty unpopular too if you took a poll. This guy's making points that I can go, yeah, and guess what? It's similar now. Back then, Americans disliked the chaos and disorder that came from anti-war protests. And here again, not much has changed. According to a recent Morning Consult poll, a plurality of Americans would like to see college ban both pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian demonstrations. In addition, the overwhelming majority of Americans support college administrators asking the police to protect their campuses from violence. And I'm pretty sure that this is different. But here, the slight similarities swiftly come to an end. Unlike Johnson and later Humphrey, there is very little indication that President Joe Biden is paying much of a political price for the war in Gaza. Really, how many articles have we read saying the opposite? Even though Biden has publicly criticized the Israeli government, pressured Israel not to launch military offensives in the Hamas-held city of Rafah, and even sanctioned Israeli military units, how does... Okay, I have a quick question, and maybe somebody in the chat can explain to me. How exactly can Joe Biden, the President of the United States, sanction Israeli military units? How does that happen? Joe Biden is not the commander-in-chief of the Israeli army, of the IDF. How does he sanction specific Israeli military units? What does that even mean? Anyway, jeez. And also he's been vilified by pro-Palestinian activists as Genocide Joe. Gee, did some of the protesters during the Vietnam era have harsh words for Lyndon Johnson? Or you just said that they followed Humphrey around on the campaign trail and hounded him? My God, you write shit and then you don't even read what you wrote before you wrote the next sentence. As a result, As a result, it's becoming practically pro forma among media commentators to suggest that Biden's perceived support of Israel is a political liability. But again, the data doesn't support this view, as this is CNN polling guru Harry Enton recently pointed out. Biden is declining support among young voters, predates the war in Gaza, and the war is, well, yeah, because of the economy. And the war has had practically no effect on 2024 presidential polling. Even though Biden's favorability rating is at a measly 31% among young voters, he is still leading Trump by 19 points with this cohort. Considering Biden's terrible numbers among young people, one would expect him to be doing even worse. Granted, that's worse than his approximate 25-point margin in 2020 with those aged 18 to 29, but we are 6 months away from Election Day. In other words, there's plenty of time for the media to fucking manipulate everything they can in Biden's favor. Oh, that's not what it says. It doesn't say that. What am I reading? That's not what it says. No, it actually says, in other words, there's plenty of time for Biden to convince younger voters that whatever their problems with him, the alternative is far worse. With help of the media. Of course, a lot can happen between now and Election Day. Perhaps Biden will pay a price with Arab voters in the crucial swing state of Michigan. It's quite possible that Chicago, the site of this year's Democratic convention, like the one in 1968, will be witness to protests and even violence like the one in 1968. That's what we're talking about! Jesus. But based on what we know now, the likely political fallout from the war in Gaza looks nothing like what the country experienced 56 years ago over the war in Vietnam. Not that these obvious distinctions will stop people from making the comparison. Okay, this guy's a moron. He keeps talking about things that are similar to 1968 and saying they're not like 1968 at all, but they're very similar. What a moron. Anyway, FTG Michael Cohen, not the one in New York right now. All right, thank you, Gun Fox. That one got me. Thank you, Evan Honesty. I'll be spending another small bullet in the tip jar. Yes. Who says, hold on, did he just argue, quote, Biden numbers are so bad the war couldn't possibly make them worse, so it's not an issue? And this is a good thing? Yes, he said exactly that. He did. He did.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
He did. Well, he did. Holy shit! What a moron. That's some thinking right there. I'll tell you. All right, and then finally, thank you, Gun Fox, dropping another Hamilton in the tip jar. This is the third article. L.A. police to clear out pro-Palestinian camp at university. Now, this has to be from 4 hours ago. I thought they already did this. They were supposed to do this already. Okay, hang on. Police in Los Angeles have cleared out a pro-Palestinian encampment at the University of Southern California. I was thinking UCLA. This is at USC. This is USC. They did it at UCLA already. Now they've done it at USC. At the University of Southern California. Officers in riot gear moved into the site early Sunday as USC warned those who did not leave that they could be arrested, according to CBS, the BBC's U.S. partner. Okay, this is a BBC article. That's where they thought of that. No arrests have been reported, and USC President Carol Folt thanked the police and campus security for clearing the camp as peacefully and safely as possible. Rocked by weeks of pro-Palestinian protests, U.S. universities are preparing for possible disruptions at upcoming graduation ceremonies. Northeastern University ceremony in Boston on Sunday passed largely peacefully at the city's Fenway Park, where police were in attendance. Members of the graduating class held Palestinian flags and chanted pro-Palestinian phrases. Other students waved Israeli flags. The protest at USC in California ended after officers formed a perimeter around the camp. Zane Khan, a USC student journalist, a USC student Democrat, told CBS that the encampment had around 100 people and was cleared out by dozens of police officers and members of the University Department of Public Safety. Most of them peacefully left. Some of them were chanting, he said. USC later posted on social media that the campus was open to students, faculty, and staff with valid identification, but warned that tents and related equipment were not allowed and could be confiscated. I wonder if they're going to suspend anybody like they did at the University of Florida. That's interesting. In a statement Sunday, Dr. Foltz said action had to be taken because the encampment was disrupting exams and preparations for commencement ceremonies, and the situation was spiraling in a dangerous direction. My goals were to prioritize safety and return our campus and our surrounding community to normalcy. We were determined to ensure that our students could finish their exams without further disruption and the USC could host the commencement celebrations our graduates have worked hard during. Now, it's interesting because they originally... So they canceled, though. USC canceled their giant graduation ceremony that they usually do in the Coliseum. They usually have like 65,000 people. They canceled that. And it's really upsetting the students this year, particularly because these are the same students who had their high school graduations canceled because of COVID. So that... a lot of people are upset about that. What they're doing is they're having all of their like smaller satellite commencement addresses or, graduations. But they're not doing the main big one like they usually do. So a lot of people are pissed about that. The proceedings followed the arrest of 93 people in USC last month after police and protesters clashed on campus. The clear out of the USC camp comes just days after riot police removed a similar encampment at the University of California, Los Angeles, aka UCLA. Earlier this week, police in New York. Okay, then they're just going down other places. So anyway, good. Look, again, I think the University of Florida got it right, where they said, you know what? You can come. You can have your gathering, you can protest, you can shout, you can talk, you can speak, you can have signs, but you don't get to block buildings, you don't get to camp out, you don't get to, leave signs all over the place. If you do, you will be suspended and trespassed from the campus for 3 years, which means you won't graduate. You'll have to wait to 3 years later to graduate. And so the students stopped camping. They came and had their protests and they'd leave, which is, I think, what the university administrators want and still allows for them to protest. But you cannot disrupt other people's ability to go to school. Perfect. All right, real quick. Thank you, JB. Dropping another 5 Canadian. It says, hey, you weren't there, man. You weren't there. I was there, man. I was there. Some dirty hippie. Yes, exactly. And also John Arnott dropping a deuce in the tip jar saying, good morning, Dog Pound. Well, good morning, John Arnott. Everyone say hi to John. Awesome. That's right, Marty. Freedom-loving Florida. Don't fuck around. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. There you go. All right. Are we done with the Gunfox article? All right. I still have some time to talk about this Trump trial. Oh, by the way, just an FYI, another reason that Joe Biden might be in trouble. There was another poll came out where more Americans trust Trump over Biden on the economy and inflation. A poll shows that more Americans trust former President Donald Trump over President Biden on the handling of inflation and the economy. Surveying 2,260 registered voters between April 25th and 30th, the ABC News Ipsos poll found that Americans regarded inflation and the economy as the top issues going into the 2024 election, with a majority favoring Trump over Biden to handle those issues, per The Hill. 88% of Americans in the survey said the economy was important when deciding on whom to vote for, and 85% said the same for inflation. 46% of surveyed Americans said they trust Trump on the economy, while 32% said the same of Biden. So that's a 14 points difference. Also, 30% who responded, another 25% said they trusted neither candidate on the issue. And then, so there you go. That's a reason why. That's the reason why Biden might be in trouble. Of course, his 38% approval rating is the lowest ever, too. So that doesn't help. Let's get into the Trump hush money trial. So here's a summary from the app formerly known as Twitter called X. Trump's hush money trial, week 4 unfolding. Oh, it's the 4th. Did I say week 3? I thought it was 3. It is week 4. The 4th week of Donald Trump's New York criminal trial, prosecutors aim to build on emotional testimony from a former aide to the ex-president, that's known as Hope Hicks, with high-profile witnesses like Michael Cohen, the liar, the lying guy from Saturday Night Live, and Stormy Daniels, the hoe, yet to testify. The trial is centered around a hush money case. No, this is consideration for a non-disclosure agreement, but they keep calling it hush money because that sounds like more mob-like. has seen a mix of obscure figures and high-profile players taking the stand with political damaging recording, adding intrigue. The public eagerly awaits the next round of testimony. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get into the AP story on this because you're going to notice how different outlets sound different when they talk about this shit show of a trial. So in the AP, the Associated Press says prosecutors move deeper into Trump's orbit as testimony in hush money trial enters a third week. Now this is the third week. Why does that one say fourth week? It is the third week. I knew I had that right. So here it is. Prosecutors in Donald Trump's hush money trial. Don't speak. I know what you're thinking. Are moving deeper into his orbit following an inside the room account about the former president's reaction to a politically damaging recording that surfaced in the final weeks of the 2016 campaign. Hope Hicks, a former White House official and for years a top aide, is by far the closest Trump associate to have taken the witness stand in the Manhattan trial. Notice I'm using breath, what do you call it? Breath something. Wait, sound? Are you reading them? They shouldn't sound like anything. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, her testimony Friday was designed to give... It's funny. They're telling us... They're interpreting the trial and not just saying what happened. Her testimony Friday was designed to give jurors an insider's view of a chaotic and pivotal stretch in the campaign when a 2005 recording showing Trump's talking about Now, listen to this line. Listen to this line because is this what he said? Listen to this line. This was when I read this earlier today, I was like, wait, what? Listen to this line because think about what he said and what this line says. Good morning, Select Boy.
Yeah, boy.
When a 2005 recording showing Trump talking about grabbing women without their permission was made public, and when he and his allies sought to prevent the release of other potentially embarrassing stories. So they're talking about the grab him by the pussy line, right? Wait, what? Did he say he was talking about grabbing women without their permission? Is that what he was saying? Because I distinctly remember that he was talking about how some women who, say, idolize celebrities let you do things like that. Did he say... Notice notice the semantics of that. He's talking about groupies and hoes, right? They let you. He wasn't talking about grabbing without their permission. Now maybe he said something about kissing and doesn't even have to ask because they just let you do it. I don't know because that you know what? Ask Gene Simmons about that. or the guys from Motley Crue, and would they be able to relate to what Donald Trump was talking about there? But anyway, now I don't think of Donald Trump as Gene Simmons, like Kiss or Motley Crue or anything. But he's a rich guy, billionaire, fucking celebrity guy, and it was 10 years before the thing. But anyway, that effort, the prosecutors say, included hush money payments to a porn actor and a Playboy model who both have said they had sexual encounters with Trump before he entered politics. Although Stormy Daniels, didn't she deny it several times? I don't know. Quote, I had a good sense to believe this was going to be a massive story and that it was going to dominate the news cycle for the next several days, Hicks said of the Access Hollywood recording, first revealed in an October 2016 Washington Post story. This was a damaging development. The trial enters its third week of testimony Monday, with prosecutors building toward their star witness, the lying guy, Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and personal fixer who pleaded guilty to federal charges related to the hush money payments and also perjury. And also, the other part of this too, what were the federal charges for what? He pled guilty to something he probably wouldn't have lost the case to. Cohen is expected to undergo his a bruising cross-examination from defense attorneys seeking to undermine his credibility with jurors. Well, now the funny thing about this is many of the witnesses ahead of him being testifying have already sullied his good name. What little goodness there is in that. Trump faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in connection with payments made to stifle potentially embarrassing stories. Not illegal. Prosecutors say Trump's company, the Trump Organization, reimbursed Cohen for payments to a porn actor. Stormy Daniels, actor is a generous term, and gave Cohen bonuses and extra payments. Prosecutors alleged those transactions were falsely logged in company records as legal expenses. Well, he paid him to his lawyer, just like Hillary Clinton paid Perkins Coie. Trump has pleaded not guilty and denied sexual encounters with any of the women as well as any wrongdoing. So far, jurors have heard from witnesses, including tabloid magazine. Okay, who cares? Let's move on because I want to get to some of these other stories. Let's look at the Hill. The Hill is ambiguous in some ways in their leanings, although tend to lean left, but there's plenty of right side writers who write for the Hill also. Ex-Trump organization exec takes a stand to start week 3's testimony. So these are there were live updates. Oh, this is from this morning. So let's see. They have updates this morning. All right. Come on. Oh, it stopped scrolling. Sorry. This is my computer issue. Here we go. Witness testimony in former President Trump's hush money trial is set to kick off for a third week Monday. So far, the jury has heard testimony from key players involved in the probe. In the what? Did you say the probe? Stop it. Involved in the probe, including ex-National Enquirer publisher David, ex-National Enquirer publisher David Pecker. Attorney Keith Davidson and Hope Hicks, once a close political confidant of the former president. Yeah, she was subpoenaed to testify. She didn't testify voluntarily. Still expected to, and she didn't help this case at all. She had nothing to do with it, and she said so. Still expected to the witness stand is a woman at the center of the case, porn actor Stormy Daniels, who took a $130,000 payment to keep quiet about the alleged affair with Trump before he entered politics, which he denied. Yes, the extortion scheme that she got a non-disclosure agreement for. She got paid, and then she ended up having to pay his attorney fees when she tried to sue him, and it was thrown out of court. She had to pay him. So anyway, here, how long is this? I was gonna. Here's how MSNBC is talking about it, or was talking about it earlier this morning.
These guests, but I can tell you thematically, it feels like Hope Hicks is the last witness, at least for right now, to testify to the formation of the conspiracy to get Donald Trump elected.
Conspiracy! The formation of a conspiracy to get him elected. Oh my God! A conspiracy to get him elected? Wow. Did he pay a foreign spy to make a fake dossier about his opponent, saying that this opponent was a Russian plant? That then paid the attorney to launder the money and called it legal fees? Oh wait, no, that was his opponent that did that. Holy shit, why is she not behind bars already? I mean, this is almost not only is it the exact same thing. Well, it's not the exact same thing. It's actually fucking worse because she paid for fake information that cost the American taxpayers $40 million in investigation. He paid off some porn hoe that was extorting him to say for some big story about him having an affair to keep it from his wife. Gee. Which one actually was an attempt to affect the election? Holy shit. I can't even believe this case is going on. It's unbelievable. Sorry.
By paying off these women, and that we should be moving into the...
Oh my God. A non-disclosure agreement. A legal non-disclosure agreement.
real heart of the matter here, which is the falsification of business records.
Yes, just like Hillary Clinton said, what paying Perkins Coie, who paid for the fucking spy, the British former ex-spy, she disguised that as legal fees. Holy shit.
In order to conceal that conspiracy to elect.
Again, notice how she keeps saying conspiracy. A conspiracy. This is fucking embarrassing.
Donald Trump through unlawful means. So who are we likely to see here in this phase?
Yes, who?
A number of Trump Organization employees who are involved in the invoices and general ledger statements. We also might hear from Madeleine Westerhout, who was Trump's executive assistant in the White House.
What, they paid,
so
they paid an attorney, and the people who write the checks and whatever are the ones who put them in the ledger as probably legal fees. Did Donald Trump do it? Was this a planned out scheme? Was it a conspiracy? I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Asking yourself, what does she have to do with all this? Well, she's the person at the White House who had to place the 9 checks that Donald Trump signed in front of him. And we've already seen through Rona Graff's
So, here, Donald, sign these checks. What am I signing these for? These are for your attorney, Michael Cohen. Okay. Here you go. We owe Michael Cohen this much. Here we go. I'm just signing these checks.
Testimony. One email in particular where Rona and she are discussing, like, how do we send these things back and forth? Can you send me a FedEx label? I'm sending you checks for him to sign. So count on Madeleine Westerhout being a critical witness here to establishing that Donald Trump had knowledge and participation in this portion.
Yes, he signed the checks. Because they were checks to his lawyer, and the secretary or assistant or whatever said, hey, Donald, come sign these checks. I can send them out for you. I'm pretty sure that Donald knows the inner workings of every single check that he has ever signed. But notice where he was signing these checks. Where was he signing the checks? Where did you hear where she said he was signing the checks? Why, he was signing them in the White House. Why is that important? That means he was already president. I'm just curious. How does this influence the election if he's already president?
Gotcha, bitch.
Of the crime, which, as I said,
is crime. So they're already saying it's a crime. This is MSNBC saying it's a crime.
The heart of what the Manhattan DA's office has to prove.
Yeah. So it has been going so well. So then there's the Raw story here. And again, now they are definitely anti-Trump over at Raw story. New witness could prove crucial element at the heart of hush money case, expert says. They have an expert that says this. Let's see if they say who the expert is. They might actually say who this expert is. I don't know. We'll find out. Prosecutors are expected to call Donald Trump's former White House gatekeeper to testify against him in his hush money trial. And MSNBC's Lisa Rubin explained the key evidence she could deliver. Was that Lisa Rubin in the last clip? Do I even need to do this? Who in the hell is she? Is that Lisa? That might be Lisa Rubin. But anyway, maybe that's where I got the clip from. I don't know. Here we go. The former president, longtime aide Hope Hicks, testified last week about Trump's team's concern about the Access Hollywood tape and its impact on the 2016 election chances. And she told the jury about conversations she had afterward with Trump and his then lawyer Michael Cohen about his affairs with adult film actress Stormy Daniels and Playboy model Karen McDougal. Quote, I can tell you thematically, it feels like Hope Hicks is the last. Okay, this is the same chick. So I don't need to. Is this her? Is this the same? I bet it is. Let's see. If it's the same one, I don't need to read this again. Here's the entire. Yeah, it is. It's the whole thing. We got it. See, whatever. Okay, moving on. Now, on X, also here, the Today Show. Here's how the Today Show covers it. Former President Trump returns to a New York courtroom for a third week in testimony in his hush money trial. Hallie Jackson joins us with more. Let's see what Hallie Jackson has to say.
Former President Trump returns to a New York courtroom this morning for a third week of testimony. His hush money criminal trial made headlines on the campaign trail in Florida over the weekend. He also held a private retreat with top Republican donors and potential running mates.
$65 million
with just
last
6
month.
months to go now until Election Day. NBC's senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson.
Okay,
joins us
Hallie,
with
what you
more.
got to say?
Hallie,
Tell
good
us
morning.
something, Hallie.
Hey,
Tell us
Savannah,
something new,
good morning
Hallie.
to you. It'll be whiplash for the former president this morning, from a weekend with donors to a day at the defense table, with prosecutors set to go deeper into the case against Mr. Trump after tearful testimony from one of his...
Hold on. Did she just say deeper? Sorry.
Former closest confidants riveted...
I'm so fucking childish. Just whatever.
Against Mr. Trump after tearful testimony from one of his former closest confidants riveted the courtroom.
Riveted.
Former President Trump heading back to court this morning following Friday's emotional testimony from one of Mr. Trump.
It's interesting they keep putting out these words. It's funny. Jason Who, what's up? I didn't say hi to you. I thought that was Jimmy Das Hotep. Hello, Jason Who. What's up? Yes. Okay.
Trump's former top aides, Hope Hicks.
We want hope.
Hicks, appearing under a subpoena, admitted she was nervous. Later,
isn't that a weird picture? The artist there, like, why do they have him like that? Wouldn't his neck hurt from his head up like that? Like, that's weird. Why did they have a picture like that? That's just dumb.
Appearing under a subpoena, admitted she was nervous. Later, tearing up and taking.
You know, isn't it funny how they fail to mention that she's nervous and whatever, tearing up. But they didn't. If you just heard that and didn't know what was going on here, would you assume that she was nervous because of Trump and tearing up because of Trump? Here's a little detail they left out. She didn't volunteer to testify. She was subpoenaed to testify. And they didn't really have anything. She didn't say much. All they did was brought in the thing about the grab him by the pussy thing, right? That's the reason they brought her in, and to connect that dot. But so what? Okay. So anyway, that's that. But they make it sound like, oh, she's afraid of Donald Trump. No, she still likes that. They're still friends.
Taking a break to compose herself. Hicks also discussing the infamous Access Hollywood tape. Prosecutors say its release before the 2016 election helped propel the hush money scheme. Though Hicks said she was not engaged in negotiations, she testified Mr. Trump was, in fact, aware of the payments. The former president has denied allegations of affairs and pleaded not guilty. Mr. Trump Sunday making a stop at Miami's Formula One race
because of his extortion.
His own race.
By the way, there are rumors that Stormy Daniels actually had an affair with Michael Cohen too. I don't know if that's true. Just that's out there. So I don't know. That's just saying that's one of the rumors. It's not a fact or speculation on my part. It's just a rumor that I've heard.
Race for the White House in the spotlight during a private meeting with GOP donors at his Mar-a-Lago estate Saturday. Mr. Trump.
Oh, that place that's only worth $18 million, by the way.
Comparing President Biden's administration to the Nazi secret police. According to audio obtained by NBC News, Mr. Trump accused Biden officials of running a Gestapo administration while venting about his legal troubles. The White House, in a statement, says the former president is echoing the appalling rhetoric of fascists.
Well, what? Wait a minute. So the fascists would say that the Biden administration is acting like the fascists. That's echoing the fascists by saying your opponent sounds like the fascists. Okay, help me figure that one out.
At Mar-a-Lago retreat, a number of potential top VP contenders, including Senator Tim Scott, who voted to certify the 2020 election, but now repeatedly dodging when asked on Meet the Press whether he'd accept the results of the next election.
Just yes or no, will you accept the election?
How do you know if you're going to accept the election results that haven't happened? What if, for example, the election results in 12 states say that one candidate won by one vote in 12 different states, what a coincidence, over the other? Would you accept the election results immediately? Of course you wouldn't. You'd ask for recounts. You'd ask for all this other stuff to verify the election results. So this is just saying, oh, well, you need to, no matter what happens, you have to accept the election results because they're election results and they are cast in stone and gold. And if you don't accept the election results, then you are working in mud and silver just don't cut it. It has to be stone and gold. So if it's not stone and gold, you have to accept it. Or if it is stone and gold, you have to accept it. What if there's obvious shenanigans in the election? Why would you accept election results immediately? That didn't make any fucking sense. Why are you asking that question? Oh, because see, people who question the 2020 election are fascists and conspiracy theorists, and those are the worst things you can be. Fuck off.
Results of 2024.
I look forward to President Trump being the 47th president. Kristen, you could ask him multiple times.
Senator, just a yes or no answer.
So the American people...
Why? Will Democrats accept the election results if Donald Trump wins? Did they the last time Donald Trump win? How many Democrats accepted the election results? How many of them did? Huh? Have you asked a single Democrat, well, if Donald Trump wins, will you accept the election results? Because you had a bunch of people burning shit down in the streets in 2017 when Trump was inaugurated. And for the entire length of his term, you called him an illegitimate president. So how many Democrats are you asking, if Donald Trump wins the election, will you accept the election results? I had never heard a reporter ask a Democrat that. Holy shit. Holy shit.
People.
Thank you, Avocados Diabli, putting a small bullet in the tip jar again. Did we just reach our goal? Oh, we're $3 away. If aliens came down and torched all the ballots and Congress decided, fuck it, Trump won, would they accept those results? Of course not. Never commit to something that hasn't happened and could go sideways. Exactly. You get multiple sounds for that one. That's exactly it. It's like, yes or no? Will you accept the election results? Yes or no? Will you kiss all of my fat ass? Or something like that. Anyway.
People will make the decision.
But I don't hear you committing
for President Trump. That's clear.
I don't hear you committing to what? Again, if Donald Trump wins the election, Electoral College, and not the popular vote, are you going to accept the election results? Or are you going to call for the end of the Electoral College? Like last time. Like they're doing right now. Jesus. H. Wombat. Anyway, so that's stupid. We don't have to watch any more of that. Let's see. What's the next one here? Again, prosecutors move deeper into Trump. Okay, this is the same AP article. Florida 6. Again, is this from the Hill? This looks like the exact same article. Well, anyway, we'll skip that. That's the Associated Press article, so it's in a couple different outlets. Now, Trump trial. Live updates as judge finds Trump in contempt again, threatens jail time. So now this is the fourth week of Donald Trump's criminal trial. I don't know if it's the third or the fourth week. Who knows? The fourth week of Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York got underway Monday with the judge in the case finding the defendant in contempt of court for the 10th time. Thank you, John Arnott. There you go. Dropping the... Okay, John Arnott dropped a trace in YouTube Super Chats. Says, hope it helps. Of course it helps. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And even though Avocados Diabli, there's the AD. Avocados Diabli, haha, just because it makes me tickle inside. Oh, you are so funny. We're at $59.99. Thank you, AD. That's hilarious. So we're 1 penny short of the $60 Streamlabs goal. I'm sorry, I meant that's the Streamlabs one. I mean, technically we are over the $60 mark, but it's supposed to be Streamlabs. So we're at $59.99. That's funny. I'll take it. Thank you very much, AD. You're awesome. So anyway, Trump got another contempt thingy. Judge Juan Merchan imposed another $1,000 fine for the latest violation of his gag order, which limits what Trump can say about witnesses and others involved in the case. He said the fines are not having the intended deterrent effect, and said he could impose stiffer penalties in the future. Going forward, this court will have to consider a jail sanction if it is recommended. Merchant said from the bench, Mr. Trump, the last thing I want to do is put you in jail. No, it's the first thing he wants to do, but he knows the backlash will be ridiculous. That's why he's not doing it, because he's a pussy. Damn it, I said that again. Anyway, the latest, he said fines, blah, 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 and he could impose penalties. Going forward, this court will have to consider a jail sanction if it is recommended. Merchant said for the bench, Mr. Trump, the last thing I want to do is put you in jail. You are a former president of the United States, and possibly the next one as well. Merchant found that Trump violated the order on April 22nd interview when he commented on the political makeup of the jury. He said the comments not only are called into question the integrity and therefore the legitimacy of these proceedings, but again raised the specter of fear for the safety of the jurors and their loved ones. Oh, fuck off. No, you love saying that. Who gets more? Okay. Do you think Donald Trump gets any death threats? I bet he gets thousands. Constant. There are so many people who want Donald Trump dead. I bet they gets lots of them. More than probably anyone on the planet. From lefties. But do you ever hear about that? Him complaining about death threats? No, because he's not a pussy. Oh, I said it again. God, I got to stop saying that. Anyway, the judge's contempt decision came before the prosecutors called their next witness to the stand, Jeffrey McConney, the Trump Organization retired controller. Hope Hicks, Trump's top communication aide from 2015 to 2018, testified Friday about how she and others in Trump's orbit had revelations about the hush money payments made by two women before the election. And then they just give you some other details. So anyway, now this is another one from channel. What channel is this? It's some CBS affiliate in probably New York. What to expect after judge put a gag order on Trump in the hush money case. Oh, well, that's virtually every day of the hush money criminal trial. Former President Trump talks about how he can't talk about the case. Okay, this just talks about what a gag order is. Fuck this shit. I should be done anyway. Now, Jonathan Turley, the Democratic legal expert who often says shit in favor of Republicans. I make fun of him. He's the Tim Pool of Democratic legal strategists. Okay. Wrote this article about Michael Cohen and the absurdity of Michael Cohen being part of this case. Now remember, Michael Cohen was Trump's lawyer, right? And it's funny because now Michael Cohen wants Trump to go to jail for legal advice that he gave Donald Trump. Isn't that spectacular? I had never thought of that until I read that from Jonathan Turley. But we're going to finish up with this one. By the way, I'm going to drop articles in the links at the end of the show. There are a ton of articles that have nothing to do with the Trump case. They're all kind of subjects, mostly from my aggregator. But I highly recommend that you check out the articles in the links today. But anyway, we're going to finish with this one. And this is the absurdity. A disbarred serial perjurer walks into court and asks to take an oath. Here's the column from the Hill that Jonathan Turley wrote. A disbarred serial perjurer walks into a courtroom and asks to take an oath. No, seriously, this is not a joke. Michael Cohen will soon appear in a Manhattan courtroom in what is sure to be one of the most bizarre moments in legal history. Cohen nearly comprises the prosecution's entire case against former President Donald Trump under a criminal theory that still has many of us baffled. It is not clear what crime Trump was supposedly trying to conceal by making a hush money payments to former porn actress. Oh, now she's an actress. She's a porn performer, Stormy Daniels. What is clear is that none of the witnesses called in recent weeks has had any direct involvement with Trump on the payments. The witnesses had a lot to say about Cohen, however, and most of it was not good. They described an unprofessional, self-proclaimed fix-it man who created a shell corporation to buy out Daniels with his own money. The money was later paid back by Trump after the election with other legal expenses. So, Cohen will now make the pitch to the jury that they should put his former client in jail for following his own legal advice. This would be difficult, even for a competent and ethical lawyer. For Cohen, it's utter insanity, but Bragg is betting on a New York jury looking no further than the identity of the defendant to convict. Cohen has an impressive history of lies and exaggerations that may be unparalleled. Just weeks ago, another judge denounced him as a serial perjurer who was still gaming the system. This is not the defendant, mind you, but Alvin Bragg's star witness. Hello, MC Servant, dropping links in Rumble for some reason, whatever that is, some Bitcoin bullshit. Anyway, I have been an outspoken critic of Cohen going back to when he was still representing Trump. His unethical acts were matched only by his unprofessional demeanor. In 2015, after students on the Harvard Lampoon played a harmless prank on Trump, Cohen was quoted by a student on the Lampoon's staff as threatening them with expulsion. When a journalist pursued a story Cohen didn't like, he told the reporter that he should tread very fucking lightly because I'm going to do to you what I'm going to do to you is going to be fucking disgusting. Do you understand me? That's Michael Cohen saying that? I think he might have had that affair with Stormy Daniels. Anyway, it's not hard to understand Cohen. He has long marketed his curious skill of voluntarily saying whatever the highest bidder wants him to say. He is a convicted perjurer who seems to lie even when the truth would do. Each time he's caught lying, he claims to be the sinner who has finally seen the light, seeking redemption. When he was called before the House to testify against Trump soon after his plea agreement with the Justice Department for lying, Cohen was again accused of perjury. House Oversight Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings of Maryland warned Cohen repeatedly that he'd better tell the truth this time. Cohen then testified that Trump wanted him to work in his administration and offered him multiple jobs, which he turned down. He also claimed, "I have never asked for, nor would I accept a pardon from President Trump." Multiple sources have said Cohen's lawyer pressed the White House for a pardon and that Cohen unsuccessfully sought a presidential pardon after FBI raids on his office and residence last year. So he lied to their faces. Can you mod me in Rumble? I'll take care of that. Do we have mods in Rumble? I don't even know if that is that possible. Yeah, I don't know if there's mods in Rumble. I've never seen how that works. Anyway, I don't care. It's until I figure it out. Okay. Multiple sources. Okay. Even after being stripped of his law license and sentenced to 3 years in prison, Cohen continued the pattern. In 2019, Cohen failed to appear to testify before a Senate Intelligence Committee, citing the inability to travel due to surgery. He was then seen partying before the hearing date with 5 friends. Even while in jail, Cohen was accused of lying to court in a violation of an order for an early release due to medical problems. He was ordered back into custody after being spotted at a high-end restaurant. But the most impressive moment came when Cohen was put back on the stand under oath and matter-of-factly claimed that he had lied in his prior hearing when he pleaded guilty to lying. He lied about lying. Then when Cohen was asked by Trump's counsel, "Did you lie to Judge Pauley when you said that you were guilty of the counts that you said under oath that you were guilty of? Did you lie to Judge Pauley?" Cohen responded, "Yes." He was then asked again, "So you lied when you said you evaded taxes to a judge under oath. Is that correct?" He again responded, "Yes." Now, most of us expected the Justice Department to bring new perjury charges at that point. It is rare that a defendant will actually take the stand and confess to perjury. However, Cohen is now useful again. This time, he was willing to deliver Trump. The Justice Department and Manhattan prosecutors were clearly willing to tolerate a little perjury for that prize. Cohen's conduct had already loomed large in the Manhattan proceedings when Keith Davidson took to stand, the attorney who represented both Stormy Daniels and former Playboy model Karen McDougal. He recounted how Cohen was furious about not being offered a job at the White House. That directly contradicts Cohen's congressional testimony. Davidson said that Cohen believed he might be named Attorney General. Holy shit! No fucking way. Could you imagine? That account of truth shows that Cohen is not only unethical, but he's delusional. Cohen was found incapable of being an attorney, let alone Attorney General. As prosecutors set the table for the grand arrival of their star witness, the testimony only got worse. David Pecker, the former owner of the National Choir, and said charitably that Cohen was prone to exaggeration. Davidson describes Cohen's profane and unprofessional conduct, stating, "The moral of the story is nobody wanted to talk to Cohen." That may be the first time the word moral was used in the same sentence. Former Trump associate Hope Hicks mocked Cohen on the stand, said that he constantly tried to insinuate himself into the campaign without success, and that he used to like to call himself Mr. Fix-It, but it was only because he's the one who first broke it. Mind you, these were his fellow prosecution witnesses, not the defense. These are prosecution witnesses who are telling how shitbag Michael Cohen is. These witnesses also contradict the basis for the prosecution. Pecker said that he killed stories for various celebrities for years and that he did so for Trump for over a decade before he ran for office. Davidson testified that he did not consider the deal to be a hush money, but simply consideration to kill bad press. Hicks testified that she believed Trump wanted to kill the stories in significant part to protect his family from embarrassment. Cohen could not even maintain a consistent position during the trial. Many of us have denounced the gag order on Trump that prevents him from responding to Cohen's unrelenting attacks in the media. Cohen then promised to stop any further comments. That promise may have set the record for Cohen. He kept it for roughly 3 days before being accused of trolling for dollars on social media by attacking Trump. District Attorney Bragg will now call this disbarred serial perjurer to make the case for the former president. Under New York law, the oath administered by the court is supposed to awaken the conscience and impress the mind of the witness in accordance with that witness's religious and ethical beliefs. Well, he may be out of luck there. Before the bailiff administered the oath to Cohen, Judge Juan Merchan may have to warn spectators in the courtroom not to laugh or protect themselves from lightning strikes. One of the two. Anyway, that's it. For anyone familiar with Cohen, it will sound like the ultimate punchline to a bad joke. So anyway, there you go. Mr. Michael Cohen will be taking the stand soon. That should be some damn good entertainment. Thank you, JB. Dropping another Canadian deuce in the tip jar, which is, I think, 93 cents, saying, "Were you lying then or are you lying now?" Yes, that was the answer. Thank you, JB. And I don't mean to make fun of Canadian money. I just do, because Canadians make fun of Canadian money. Like, because I saw someone buying some chicken drumsticks at a grocery store in Canada, and it was like, it might have been a dozen drumsticks that were cooked or whatever, and they were like $52 for fucking chicken drumsticks. I'm like, what? And that's $52 Canadian, so I don't know what that is in American. But holy shit. Trudeau's fucking shit up there too. Anyway, yeah, you got so many resources. It's like Canada could supply the world with just about everything resource-wise if they really wanted to. But there's, global warming and shit. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I'll be dropping those links in the chat. I got to go. In fact, that's all I'm going to say, because I'm really late. So thank you for joining me. I got to go. Bye. My name's P-Dog Knight. And I'm out of here. Like, subscribe, and all that shit. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P. Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.